Go ahead.
All right, y'all. One thing for sure, two things for certain. When y'all start seeing me and Voch link, that means a few things. That means that it's gonna be legendary content, but it also means that football season is right around the corner. And I wanted to save some of this because I know you guys actually care about us, the people, and I want to save some of this to just ask my boy Voch Lombardi. Voch, how are you? Like just life, no football right now. Life, how are you? You looking
Man,
good?
like, hey, man, I'm trying to, we getting in
I
shape. I
see it.
got a,
I see it. No, I see
you know
it,
what I'm
bro.
saying? I got a secret something that I'm working on, and if it don't work, it never happened. Right? Like it never happened.
Yeah.
But if it goes well, I'm gonna tell everybody what I've been working. I'll tell you after, but long
Stupid.
story. But hey, man, but besides that, man, life good. I can't complain, brother. You all right now?
Man, people just don't know how hard of a worker that Voch is. He said something pre-show that I said, man, this is why I love just working with this guy. He said, hey, I don't want to put out anything that's not really educating fans. So just talking just to talk. I mean, when it comes to the film, there's nobody better. There's really nobody better. And he's put his years and he's put his time in. So you guys I'm sure you guys already do follow Vox, but make sure that y'all stay locked in with him. And he's funny as hell. Like that's really my bro. We're really friends in real life. We really talk about real life situations. So um Voch, there's been a lot of chatter. We're just gonna jump right into it because we got a lot to cover. Vosh, there's been a lot of chatter about Dak Prescott's interceptions. And, while you're doing some housekeeping things, the thing to me that's so interesting about the interceptions is while some people have taken the low hanging fruit of, Dak may be on the decline or, it's this, that, and the third, maybe it was scheme. I truthfully believe, and this is me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Voch, I truthfully believe that in order to have a super solid passing attack,
Right.
you need to have super solid weapons on the edge,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You can't roll out a CeeDee Lamb. People got to remember, let's really take a step back to this time last year.
Yeah.
We did not know if CeeDee Lamb was a one, Voch.
Mm-hmm.
Did we? It's like we Voch knew because Voch went crazy when he was drafted, but did we know, Voch?
So it's two things you got to have, Foots. Especially if Dak Prescott's not elite. Oh boy, he's not elite, Foots the King.
Yeah.
Everybody either say one of two things: either Dak trash or they compare him to Pat Mahomes, don't they? They always
Mm.
put him in a group with Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts and them. If Dak Prescott was really trash, they'll compare him to Baker Mayfield or whatever. But hey, we'll let them think what they want to think, though, Foots the King.
Right.
Um, you know, it I know who Dak is,
Right.
right? And I'm very high on Dak. I'm high on Dak, but I have understanding about Dak. Um, but I also understand quarterback though, Fuster King.
Right.
When Jalen Hurts had a year where he wasn't so great, they went
Second year in the
all
league.
in. Yeah, they went all in on Jalen Hurts. They got him the best offensive line in the league, 2 first-round picks at wide receiver, running backs that you can depend on, a good defense. Jalen Hurts does good things for you. Pat Mahomes, playoff run after playoff run, he goes to the Super Bowl and gets smoked by the Tampa Bay defense. That defense was incredible. They said, damn, we got to add something to that. We just can't go against the best pass rush in the league and not have offensive linemen for the King. And that's Pat Mahomes that we talking about. Lamar Jackson, they go get him receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like you see this trend here, right? Diggs,
Right.
well, Diggs was with Kirk Cousins and them. Diggs, I want to go elsewhere. Bills were aggressive enough to say, hey, let's get Stephen Diggs and give him to Josh Allen. You see what happens to Josh Allen, right? The Bengals say, hey, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins,
Right.
and Tyler Boyd,
Yeah, I tell you
and
that the
Joe
other
Mixon.
day. Yep.
Oh shit! And then Foots. Not only did the Bengals do that, but they said, you know what? Let's try to get better at offensive line. They got Leo Collins, and it didn't work for the King, but they tried to get better at offensive line.
Right.
How come? Why is it? Even if you get Devontae Adams and send him to the Raiders for Derek Carr,
Right.
why is it Dak Prescott is the only quarterback that we look at and say he got to do the shit by himself. Why?
So
Why is he the only one, Fuster King? What? 2i, what's happening? What's good with you? Why, Fuster King? Why is Dak Prescott the only one? You been seeing how these Giants fans talking? Just lately how they've been talking, right?
they've been going
We
crazy.
got Darren Wall, we got some draft picks, we Elijah Moore, and some other. How come Dak Prescott's the only one that's not allowed to go against the number one defense in the league? Yes, he had CeeDee Lamb, but he also had Noah Brown, who ain't here no more. Zeke, who ain't here no more. Dalton Schultz, who ain't here no more. December T.Y. Hilton, who ain't here no more.
Right. That you picked up on in the middle of the season.
Dak Prescott lines up against the best defense in the league, doesn't pull it off, but he constantly get the narrative of he can't do it by himself, Mr. King. Why is that? Oh, Voch, Dak. Look at all these interceptions Dak threw. Yeah, because he was throwing the damn December T.Y. He was throwing the damn Noah Brown. He was trying to make something shake because his receivers wasn't adequate for the game. How come? How come?
Watch on fire, y'all. He on fire.
Why is that? Why is that? I've seen Cowboy fans look at a ball bounce off the hands of receivers. It's happened all year. Or Michael Gallup will slip, or he'll not come back to the ball, or CD will not run the right route. That's three of them. Noah Brown want to bounce off his hands. Hendershot will bounce off his hands. And they'll go, Dak Prescott responsible for all of them. Foots, he's the only quarterback that this is not, that he's not responsible for that. He got to do it on his own, Fuster King. So, pardon me, Foots, not you, when I say you, but like them, pardon me for feeling like Brandon Cooks is going to bring so much more to this thing. Pardon me for feeling like Tony Pollard on 1st and 10 ain't going to scamper for a 1-yard gain and fall down. Pardon me for thinking that Jake Ferguson's not going to be a better yak guy than Dalton Schultz because he's proven to be so. Pardon me. I apologize. My bad. Fuster King, but all these characters are going to make Dak Prescott better. Why? Because I've seen him do it with the 30-second pass rush win rate, December T.Y. Hilton, Noah damn Foots. Dak Prescott can beat 30 other teams, Foots. We seen him do it. We seen Dak Prescott smoke and put points on 30 other teams.
Yeah.
But how come we go against the best defense in the league? With Kellen that we ain't got faith in, with Zeke that falls down at the 1 yard, with Dalton Schultz that goes backwards out of bounds, December T.Y. and goddamn Noah Brown, Fuster King. How come Dak don't get grace for that? How come?
Ooh, and this is why you bring Voch Lombardi. And by the way, I just want to say that I'm the first person to get Voch live right before training camp, so that's what we do over here on Fuster King channel, and that's just, he's only one call away. Voch, it's crazy because I want some flowers. People who have been with me know I loved Kellen Moore, but I did not think that he was qualified or that he had put in the years to be a play caller. I'm actually listening to a series on The Athletic called The Play Callers, and you listen to guys like Kyle Shanahan, you listen to guys like Sean McVay, you listen to guys like Mike McDaniel, who put in umpteen years. I'm talking about McDaniel was a position coach in 2006. I know he looks young, but he's been doing this for a long time, Voch. The reason why we would get to the playoffs and defenses were able to take us away, why? Because we have a coordinator who hasn't seen it. We had a coordinator who hasn't been there. We had a coordinator who hadn't put the years in. I stay consistent. You were out talenting teams. You were, Voch. When you get to the playoffs, you got to scheme. Voch, you have to scheme.
Also, too, and he's never going to get credit for this, but another reason you was winning them games was, goddamn Dak Prescott. You got 4. You got 4. 4 carried you a long way, and you know it sucks to say because he can't beat San Francisco by himself. Oh boy, you know what I'm saying? It just sucks to say that because he can't beat San Francisco by himself. But to your point, think about Schottenheimer, Foots, think about Mike McCarthy.
Correct.
They got decades worth of offensive play call in the Rolodex. You know what I mean? I think there's always going to be a point, and I think Sean McVay ran into this a little bit. Mike McDaniels ran this a little bit too, to where they got their new fancy, you know what I mean, offense that they run, and it's explosive, but they gonna hit a wall where that slows down a little because we got film on you now, right? But then you need something that's gonna take you over the edge, right? Shanahan been doing this for a long time. Shanahan been doing this. He was up under Gruden and the boys, and even before that. So he has years of experience to like call back on, right? Schottenheimer been doing this for 20 years. Mike been doing this for a long time, right? To where if they run into a defense coordinator that makes an adjustment on them, they can go, man, I seen that before when they did X, Y, Z.
Right.
I've been here before. Oh, y'all doing that? Schottenheimer? Man, I remember I had LT on my team. I remember what it was like to lean on run game when pass game wasn't working. Man, let me do this real quick. Oh, I remember when I was coaching the Colts and Andrew Luck got hurt and quarterback was trash. We had to figure out. Oh, I remember calling plays for Seattle. We had to break it up between 3 running backs. And I remember when they did X, Y, Z when Drew Brees was. You know what I mean? Like Schottenheimer at least got a Rolodex of information that he can call upon, right? If you're Kellen Moore is very talented, by the way. I don't want to hate on him.
He's a very good coach.
But if it don't go his way, Foots, it started to look bad.
Started to look no rhythm. Oh my God.
And you know, Cowboy fans been trying to help Chargers fans, but they don't want to listen because they kind of think we hating on them or whatever, right? Kellen Moore is fantastic, and Kellen does put up numbers. But this the game management stuff. This the in-game calls that we always talking about, right? You know, should you zig when you should have zagged type of thing. Kellen Moore will zag his ass off even if they adjust to the zags. He don't zig. There's no zig.
He'll zag you out of a game.
There's no straight. There's no circle. There's no back pedal. There's no asking nobody else for help because Mike McCarthy don't know the damn plays neither. So he just keep on zigging.
Yeah.
He keep on zigging. And if you don't make that adjustment or go back to your Rolodex to do something different, then you're just gonna be stuck with that because Kellen hasn't established what he's good at. Scott Linehan, right? I give him credit for this. If shit went wrong, we ran the football, Foots. we ran the football. We knew how to do it. Kellen didn't have a thing that we could just lean on. Yeah. I'm assuming Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer got something that they can lean on because they've been doing it for 30 years,
Yeah, and I also don't think that you can roll out guys like Dennis Houston. And listen, I love Noah Brown. Was a great insert player and run packages. He could come, kick the end, do all that cool stuff, could reach block linebackers. Dog, he's not a 2 receiver in the league. I mean, it's just he's not a number 2 option, Voch. Mm-hmm. And so when you give your quarterback those type of options, and listen, Noah Brown's he's going to be a fine player in Houston, and that'll probably be his last stop in the league. Love him to death, but it is what it is. So I think that Dallas learned from that, and they also said, "Hey, Kellen, we're willing to walk." I believe this. Mike McCarthy, I believe he just got fed up with Kellen just not understanding how a flow of a football game should go. Sure. And that's a real thing. I don't think that fans really even understand that until you go back and you look at it and you're watching like, man, you're in the red area. Just run the ball right here. Let's just get out with let's just get out with 3. What are we doing? Why are we running the same looks that we were run in the low red area, in the high red area? So it's just those little things, Voch, that if you watch them, like I'm going back watching these games, right? I'm watching the Green Bay game. I'm watching us kind of call ourselves out of games. I'm just like, not right there. Not that scheme right there. We're running the ball. Let's just keep going play action. Why are we in gun? Little things like that. And it's just like, okay, now I see. And this is not absolving Dak. Anybody who follows me knows I give Dak hell at times. I do. It's the emotion in me sometimes. It's the fan in me. But I will say Dak is good enough to win you big games. He is. Yeah. He just is. You built the team the right way. I think that Dallas made a big mistake last year saying Jalen Tolbert could come in and possibly challenge. And I think they made a big mistake saying Michael Gallup is healthy. That's on them. Michael Gallup clearly wasn't healthy. He said that he wasn't healthy. And Jalen Tolbert, coming from South Alabama, wasn't ready to make that jump. I think he is now, but I think that he wasn't ready to make that jump. Shout out to you, Jazz. Shout out to you and Jay. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Erica. Everybody in chat box is good. It's like a family reunion because we're getting ready for training camp. And we got Voch Lombardi on here, and he's going to get y'all some heat. Y'all getting the first heat of the year right here, so make sure y'all send this around. Make sure we get the likes up. Any trolls in here in my mods, make sure y'all get them. Okay, Voch, I got you for a good time, not a long time. Voch, let's talk training. Let's talk training camp battle, sir.
Okay.
Now,
let me get my notebook out.
Because you know what? I want to give I don't want to get too in depth because we got a long time to stretch a lot of this content, right, Voch? So
Mhm.
I'm gonna give 2, and then I want you to give 2. So Voch, you go ahead and drop 2 off, and then I'll jump in and give you my 2 that I'm really just watching. If you want to give a couple more, that's cool. But yeah.
Can I do both on the D line?
Bruh, you can do whatever you want. This was the king of Voch Lombardi. We don't have any bosses.
Hey man, Chauncey goes to coming for Neville Gallimore.
Hey man, I seen that on film, dog.
He
I've
coming
been
down.
meaning to cut it up, bro. He
Chauncey
plays the
coming.
run so well, Voch.
Chauncey
His
coming down.
his arms are long as crap.
I got some film if you want to.
Hey, Voch.
I got some film. Once again, let me tell you what I was doing, man. I was just doing some research, right? Because I like to prove people wrong and mess with people. And I was watching Week 18 versus Washington, right? So, and I was watching that film because I wanted to see Tyler line up at guard, right? I was just minding my business watching Tyler just line up at guard. And the defense would come on, I just watch the defense casually. I started seeing Chauncey Golston just smoke the hell out the offensive line, right? I'm like, why Chauncey keep making plays? I go to look at the game log. Chauncey had like 11 tackles that game. And I need answers. I need answers, Foster King. I went to go like look at Chauncey, like while I was watching Tyler, I would look at Chauncey. Then I went to the Patreon and we watched Chauncey together. Boy, Chauncey was figuring out. And look, Chauncey didn't do much that season. Right. You a ball player, you a coach, likewise. You don't know when it's gonna catch on for you. You don't know when it's gonna just click for you. You know what I'm saying? Right. You just never really know. And Chauncey, it seemed like because Hankins was hurt, right? So Chauncey just had a couple more reps to go out there and just do stuff. And it seemed like Chauncey just found this groove with the armpit jet swim and the extend, I'm longer than you, little brother, do something about it. And Chauncey racked up 11 tackles in the run game versus some characters. No sacks, but that's fine because Chauncey's not going to be get sack guy, but he's going to be run game guy. Now, if you take a surging Chauncey and pair that with Mozzie, the 3-tech/1 tech room get kind of crowded. What do you do with Neville Gallimore? So what that just means for the Kings is Neville Gallimore fighting for his life right now. What you think, sir?
Well, you know, and I definitely leave trench play to you, Voch, because I think that you do just an amazing job with that. The truth is this. Mm-hmm. I think Neville got some really bad advice, and Joe hit this. This is why, you know, Joe Rod does a great job. I think he got bad advice when he was told to put weight on. Mm-hmm. And I think that the Cowboys finally said, dog, to hell with trying to create a one tech. We're drafting a big, strong athlete. And they did that, right? With Mozzie. I think the truth of the matter is that when you look at Neville, I just think that I just don't see how he makes it on his defense because Chauncey, man, he is dog. Yeah. The way he stacks and shed, that audio sounds clean, Box. You must.
Nobody was gonna tell me nothing. Nobody.
Well, they was in the chat box, but I said Box can get it together. That's okay. It's early.
I gotta tell me on the show and say, "Hey, yo, Box, cut your mic on. We good to go now." but go ahead, Foots.
But Lombardi, this is my thing, right? I just think that you know, with Chauncey coming from that Iowa defense, like I just think that he plays the run better than Neville. Like I just think technique wise, right?
Technique, stack and shed. He has that mindset of stopping the run. You know, Iowa built like that, man. Iowa,
they put him in the league like that.
Tight ends and trenches, man. You just gotta trust those guys with that. And Chauncey, you know, it goes back to Dan Quinn. Dan has a role for him, which is unlike Neville, and this ain't really Neville's fault, right? But Neville came in as a 290-pound 4-eye guy. Then he blew up to a 315-pound 1-tech guy. He didn't get strong, but he was a 315. Then he got hurt, right? Then I was like, all right, well, take this 315 and play 3-tech. And that didn't really work out for him, right? So now we gonna end up getting the camp Foots. We at least have to ask, where is Neville gonna play right now? You know, is Neville gonna lose some weight and go back to 3-tech, or is he gonna keep that size, gain a little bit of power, and just stay as a 1-tech guy? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of roles in this Dan Quinn front seven and things like that. Neville never really had one. Chauncey, on the other hand, as soon as Chauncey got the peanut butter, Chauncey got big as hell and went right into playing his role. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what year 3 Chauncey looks like with year 3 Osa, with year 3 Voch.
I listen, Voch, I think that's astute. I think, Aisha's giving us some good nuggets. So I just want to say this. When it comes to the Cowboys, what they are going to do is overcorrect their mistakes. So we could not stop the run at times. At times it was just bad, right?
Mhm.
And I was just talking to a buddy about this, about Hurts, and I love Hurts, but I want to see how Hurts looks without a decent run game, without a decent O-line. And it's different when you have to use resources. Voch, you got to use 5-man surfaces. You got to, run blitz. You have to use certain things to do what? To stop the run. Well, now you're susceptible to what? RPOs, zone read, all that type of stuff. When you can stop the run before, it's a little different.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, Chauncey, I'm telling you, when Voch drops his film, people are going to be like, wow. Like, it's kind of the same thing that we see with Izzy. Like, dog, it's going to be hard to keep him off the field because of some of the little things he does. I just want to get to this comment real quick because this means a lot to me. We're just happy to get some good content. You could have been in the cave and we'd be happy. L, that means a lot to me because guess what? We don't put out fluff. Me and Voch just aren't going to do that. We're going to give you guys the truth, but we're also going to make sure that it means something. We're getting closer to training camp. So the fact that you guys are jumping on a live stream like this, it means the world to me. And I know when Voch turns it back up, it's going to be crazy. All right, Voch, give me another one, bro.
Back on the D line, man. Sam Williams on his way. So Dorrance better, you better figure out how to stop that damn run.
Woo!
Dorrance better figure out how to stack and shit.
Let me ask you this. What does Sam need to solidify this offseason, this training camp, to kick Dorrance off a ship?
Sam just needed time. Sam just needed time. Sam, people forget that Dorrance was a 4th round pick, and Dorrance had to work himself to get to where he is right now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Dorrance still young and all that, but Sam got natural talents that are very raw. You know what I mean? And how you fix those raw talents is just time. You keep doing it, and you lift weights, and you keep practicing, and you keep talking to coach about your plan, and you just get familiar with the system that you in. So really for Sam, it's just time. Because when Sam played last year, you saw Sam would be playing. Incredible play from Sam. And you go, how the hell Sam get back here? And then they'll rotate him out, and he'll get back in, and he'll just do some rookie stuff, and he'll kind of get caught and try to figure it out with his hands. But he's a raw guy. He don't know how to do it with his hands. Out of nowhere, Sam tearing stuff up, and we go, hey, do it again, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the same problem that Micah had or that Osa had. They'll have these fantastic displays of athleticism, right? But nuance will catch up at some point. It's just that Micah's so talented that you can't take him off the field. And Osa, we just ain't have nobody else, right? Sam is in a room filled with D linemen.
Right.
D ends to be filled with D ends. And he's still stuck out for us. So Sam really just got to, keep developing, like his man body. He going to hit the weight room, and he's going to work on his craft and work with Micah and things like that, work with different private coaches and all that stuff. And he was already a better run defender than Dorrance last year.
Right.
So all he has to do is be a better pass rusher all the time. He's already like a better athlete type guy than Dorrance. He's got to work on being a better pass rusher all the time. And what better time to do that than the damn off season? You know what I mean? So, I saw Sam the other day, man, his neck look a little thick. You know what I mean? So Sam been working on it, man. I ain't gonna say Sam got a whole bunch of peanut butter like some of these other guys did. But Sam is on his way, and Dorrance should, he should prep like so.
All right, a lot to unpack there. So Voch is talking to a player who, see, some guys just don't have the ability to play, and they just don't like. So when you talk about Sam Williams, people got to remember it's a 4'4" athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He's 4'4", 8, Voch, something like that.
4'8", yep.
4'4", 8 at that size.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's been coached under Dan Quinn for a year, and now he's watched Micah Parsons get better, who, by the way, is just going to keep ascending, who, by the way, is going to get a lot of resources sent his way. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that that's great, Voch, because, at the end of the day, I think that as long as Sam can understand that, hey, I still do have to as long as Sam can understand that I do have to play the run,
Mhm.
and like be stout at certain points in playing the run.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think that he'll have issues getting to the quarterback, Voch. I just don't.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want Sam to kind of dial back some of his aggressive nonsense, or the notion that he's a wild man playing DN works for you?
I want Sam Williams to watch everything that DeMarcus Lawrence did throughout his career.
Yeah.
Literally every rep, because I think that he has that type of ability. People got to remember, DeMarcus Lawrence was a second-round pick, just like Sam Williams. We actually traded up for DeMarcus Lawrence, Voch.
Yep.
And guess what? He's been everything we could have asked for and more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Sam Williams, if he's DeMarcus Lawrence, you've won.
Yeah.
You've won.
Yeah.
Right? So if he can do that, because DeMarcus has some of that craziness in him.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes him like so gritty against the run and so, physical and all that type of stuff. So, as long as he can get some of that in his bag, then I'm fine. All right, Voch, my battles.
Mm-hmm. DBs or something.
Honestly, Voch, I actually have been doing my series on, just what I think, kind of just my outlook on the battles and all that. DB is kind of locked, Voch.
I agree.
Gilmore is locked.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs is locked. Your safety room is locked. I don't see much movement there, but I do see movement.
Linebacker.
Receiver.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about receiver.
Now, when I say movement, you have
your
one
receivers locked though. You don't think receivers?
I don't, because I'm gonna tell you this. I have a theory on Gallup, and I could be wrong.
Oh shit.
I just don't know if Gallup's game will suggest that he gets back to, what was that good year that he had? Was that 2018?
2020. I think it was
2020. Okay. Remember just that year he almost had like 1,000 yards, and maybe he did have 1K.
Yeah, that was pre-Lamb though. Right before Lamb got there. But that injury really scares me. And when you hear the OC, because we do have to remember, Schottenheimer is the OC. He's not calling the plays, but he's designing the offense. Sure.
And when you hear the OC, like all the offseason talk, okay, cool. Jalen Tolbert, he's been working with Dak. He looks bigger. He's more confident. All that, I take some of that with a grain of salt. But then when you hear Schottenheimer, who is he's strategic and he's particular, and he's saying these things for a reason. When you hear the OC say what he said about Jalen Tolbert, the growth is real.
Are you telling me?
I'm telling you,
Tolbert is going to go from lining up at free safety versus Green Bay to taking down Michael Gallup job in 2023. Is that what you're saying, Fuster King?
I'm saying that 3, 4, 5 receiver position is all, because Semi, people, I'm hearing good things about Semi.
Sure. I
just think it's we're rolling the dice with all 3 of those guys, and somebody needs to come out of that shoot. It's like you hit the table. I need to see a 7. I need to see my point come back to me. What are your thoughts, Voch? Am I crazy? What are we doing?
Gallup though. I do think Jalen Tolbert has gotten better, because me and you draft guys, Fuster King, and we watch him. We know what Jalen Tolbert really is and
who he was. Yeah.
What he showed us last year wasn't really who he was. It's interesting that Gallup used to be like the number 2 dude, but now he's like the number 3 guy. Like he might be the outside guy now. He may be like the X dude, I guess, but he's not the number 2 guy. He's the 3rd option now. That'll be CD and Brandon Cooks. So I don't think it's outrageous to kind of be wary of Gallup. I just don't think that Tolbert and Semi have risen that high. If they rise that high, that's a good problem to have. But I think if Michael Gallup shows up and he's not good, I don't think the Cowboys just force a 3rd receiver on the field. I just think they'll just put a tight end there and they'll just kind of run some offense like that, and then they'll just work in Tolbert. They'll work in Semi or something like that. But work in Turpin. Hey, can y'all
Yeah.
find something for Turpin? Because I'm ready to cut Turpin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but if Gallup is simply better than he was last year because he's comfortable, he's comfortable with his leg now, then Gallup will be fine. Because we're not leaning on Gallup, we're leaning on CD, we're leaning on Tony, and we're leaning on Brandon Cooks. So I wouldn't lean on Gallup necessarily, but he'll be fine. I
Well,
don't think Tober taking the job.
I'm gonna say this with Cooks and CD, you
Mhm.
already have an upgrade just with them two alone, right, Voch? You
Yeah.
already have an upgraded receiver room. You just do. I don't think that people understand that's how good Brandon Cooks is, and he hasn't dropped off at all.
Mhm.
Like his game is still speed, is still route running. He can still stretch a defense.
Mhm.
And this is the type of stuff that you get with 2i on the channel and helping us out. She's on the ground, so she sees these things, right? I think that when we talk receiver 3, Botch, could you see a world where Gallup hasn't fully recovered? Botch, like we got to be real. I just like to live in reality. I mean, everybody isn't Adrian Peterson.
I don't think it's going to be a world where Gallup hasn't fully recovered, but I can see a world where Jalen Tober's gotten so much better that he's just worked himself into the rotation, right? Like not in a way that CD got to move or that Cooks got to move, but if Gallup got to come off the field for a drive or something, and Tober's going to be that guy for the drive, cool. Because I mean, hell, they've made room for Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown and T.Y. Hilton. Like we've seen them rotate wide receivers, right? So I can see that world. But man, with modern medicine and it being like a whole year and some change removed, man, like it's a whole another season now. Nah, man, Gallup be all right. Gallup be. Now, will Gallup? This is the real question. Will Gallup go back to being 2020 Gallup? I don't think that's the case because I think CD about to go crazy.
And I
Because
think you should.
I think we're gonna feed him the ball. I think he gonna have 20 targets a game or some nonsense like that. I think Brandon Cooks is gonna get. Now, I do think Gallup is gonna do what he's done the past couple of years, right? To where he's on the field and he may get 4 or 5 catches that mean something. Maybe three important catches and 2 like little whatever catches. That seems to be a good game for Gallup or whatever. But besides that, I don't see him really tearing it up because CD about to go crazy foot. That's what I'm excited for. I want to see what we do with damn CD Lamb, and I'm ready for the league to stop disrespecting my guy. A whole season of CD Lamb is about to, a whole season of Dak Prescott with CD Lamb is about to be ridiculous.
That's going to be scary, Voch. And before I get to my next training camp battle, listen, 2019 Gallup, 1,100 yards, 2020, 800.
Yeah.
If he gets back to that, I'll eat crow. I'm not trying to push him off the roster. I just think that, it's something that we have to ask questions about. Now, to Voch's point, and, I call plays and help call plays with the team that I coach. Voch,
Sure.
You've coached for a long time. I have a firm belief in this when it comes to players.
Sure.
If Steph Curry, and this is just any sport, if Steph Curry's scoring 30, let him go for 50. I think that CD Lamb is that type of athlete that is a thin line between not forcing him the ball, but saying, hey, he's hit a zone. And I think the CD, I've said this for a long time. When you get 88 the ball quick, he gets better as the game goes on. I truthfully believe that. Yeah. Quick game. Some of the stuff I was watching the Green Bay game where he's in the backfield and they're just throwing him the ball in the flats. That is what CD Lamb feeds on. Anything in breaking, that is what CD Lamb is. That's where he's in his bag, right, Voch? Mm-hmm. They need to make defenses take him away. Then we feed Cooks. And then we say Cooks is going to beat your second corner because a lot of corners can't run with Cooks.
9 games last season, CD Lamb got less than 10 targets.
Can't happen. Hey, bro, said at the same time. Absolutely, positively can't happen. Wow, that's a stat. I need to tweet that, Voch, before I steal it. You can't do that.
8 or less targets, bro. I'm just up here counting them. 8 or less targets in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, 8 or less targets, and 1 in the playoffs. Tampa Bay game. Can't happen, bro. Can't happen,
bro. It not only can it not happen, but it goes back to what we just said, Voch. If Steph's gonna go for 30, let him go for 50. Yeah. Don't get in his way. You know, you let great players be great. So that's one of my thoughts. Okay, Voch, my second battle, because again, we got a long way to go.
Mhm.
Voch, running back 2. All right.
Mhm. I'm sorry, Fuzz. Timeout. While I was doing that, I just looked up Cooper Kupp from 2021 because he got hurt last year, right?
Right.
Here's his targets, Fuzz. 10, 11, 12, 13, 10, 12, 13, 9, 13, 13, 10, 10, 15, 13, 13. And 2 games, they were just resting for the playoffs with 7 and 7. That's what CeeDee Lamb's targets need to look like.
Who was calling the play? Sean McVay, somebody who's been there, knows it. Hey, Cooper Rush, you're going to line up in the slot. We don't care what the league thinks. We'll put you in the slot because, hey, this slot defender can't guard you. So we'll run play action. What Sean McVay does, he's going to go tempo. He's going to line you up in the slot. He'll run you all sorts of routes because this slot defender can't guard you. So I don't want to hear the slot, the edge. He's only a slot receiver. Stop it.
Yeah.
You create good OCs create matchups and they exploit bad defenders. That's what good offensive coordinators do. Sean McVay is a good offensive coordinator. He's also an offensive coordinator who's been in the league for a long time. People just didn't know that. He's young. He's also been in the league for a long time. So,
see, watch this first. I love this. I don't want to say shots out to Alex because he's all in the chat about starting trouble. But he says CD was 5th in the league in targets behind Adams, Jefferson, Hill, and Dick. Good. He needs more. He needs more. Did you hear what I just read out? He could easily be 3rd or 2nd. I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to just be top 5. I'm trying to be top 2 and 3. If I feel like CeeDee Lamb's one of the best receivers in the league, why would I go, I'm cool with just him being 5th in targets? If I feel like he could be 3rd in targets or 2nd in targets, because I just seen Cooper Kupp do it, nah, I'm fine with him being 5th behind Tyreek and them. Please get CeeDee Lamb double-digit targets every game. I'm sorry, Fuzz. I apologize, Fuzz, but I just
no. You I didn't know. See, now I didn't know if AJ was a troll. I know my moms would get him. I know he got the Eagles jersey on. He want to be a Cowboys fan. Hey, Alex, if you want to be a Cowboys fan, it's cool. You want a Cowboys channel. I get it. I understand. It's all love. Now, Voch, Tony Pollard is our guy. We understand that. That's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
But running back 2.
Sure.
Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdle, Ronald Jones, and Hunter Luepke. Voch, this is what I believe, and I really want your thoughts on this. A lot of people love Malik Davis. I want to see more, but there was a reason why the Cowboys went away from him that nobody knows. Just didn't believe in him late, and it was clear that, and I have my theory on Zeke. I think that Zeke was such a big name for the Cowboys that if you kept Zeke on this roster, they would always play him because Zeke would force his way in the game. He just couldn't be on the roster. It's just like what I tell Eagles fans about Fletcher Cox. As long as Fletcher Cox is on the roster, he's going to be an issue in the locker room, and your D tackles that you guys love aren't going to develop because Fletcher Cox is going to want reps. He's not going to just say, hey, I'm going to teach you. He's going to want reps. There were times last year where it was clear Tony Pollard had more juice and he was just out the game. That's just the type of personality that he had demanded, that Zeke had demanded being, on this roster. It is what it is. So that being said, Zeke is gone. Love what he's done for the Cowboys. I'm going to always be a Zeke fan. But now we're here. Voch, one, I don't know if Malik Davis I don't know if he does anything special. And that's guys, don't kill me. I'm not saying that he's a bad player.
Yeah.
I just look at Deuce Vaughn and I say this.
Yeah.
I say, hey, Deuce Vaughn, if he can handle the physicalness of the game, he adds an element that Malik Davis, Rico Dowdle, Turpin adds that element too. I'm not mad at you. He has some.
I'm saying Turpin don't got what Vaughn got, but
don't got what Vaughn got. Yeah, okay, cool. And then, like, and Ronald Jones, I love you guys, and I love Ronald Jones with security. We got to be honest, he couldn't get on the field in Kansas City. I just don't believe that he's going to help the Cowboys in that way. So
I do feel like Cowboy fans are overthinking running back 2 a little bit.
Well, let me ask you this, Voch.
Yeah.
If I really believe in Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
I really believe, because if he can, I just want to see Deuce Vaughn get cranked, bow, and wake up. Like if he can just get smoked, Voch. Like if somebody can just, like if Leighton Vander Esch is one time, I know they say don't tackle the ground, Leighton. If you watching this, if somebody can send this to Leighton Vander Esch, one time just smoke Deuce Vaughn. I just want to see him pop up. If he can do that, I want to see Deuce Vaughn get carried. Voch, am I wrong? What's the deal?
I don't think you're wrong at all. You know, I think a lot of people like to talk themselves, you know, into doubt sometimes. You know, people love to doubt because it's safe to doubt. You know, it's always safe to doubt. You know, so you can look at Deuce Vaughn and be like, well, Deuce Vaughn is a little bitty. Boston Scott a little bitty. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that. And he was in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like small backs exist. Plus, if Deuce Vaughn played for North Dakota, not North Dakota State foot, but just regular North Dakota, then maybe I'll look at what you're saying and be like, all right, well, Deuce Vaughn may have a problem with dealing with big boys trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Deuce Vaughn played against the best of them in college football.
Right.
He played against the best of them. He played against many pros. I'm not trying to hear that about Deuce Vaughn. Now, I understand that the National Football League is different than college. I get that. But Deuce Vaughn will be different because Deuce Vaughn is a pro. You know what I mean? Get him the ball and let him fly.
Okay.
Cool. Get Deuce Vaughn the ball and let him fly. Throw Deuce Vaughn the ball and let him fly. Don't let Deuce Vaughn lead block like they tried to do at Kansas State.
They did. It's funny.
They tried to make that man lead block for somebody else, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't see why, but dog, just let Deuce do what he do.
Yeah.
Well, Voch, can Deuce hold up against all these hits in the NFL? Well, two things. Deuce is not going to be he's not going to be a bell cow. He's not getting 20 carries a game, and Deuce is short. He's not small, right? He ain't small. Yeah. Deuce is a big muscle. He just happened to be short. You know what I'm saying? Deuce will be fine. And you know, if you look up and down these rosters that went to the playoffs and all that, and they made these runs and got to the Super Bowl, you're not going to find a ridiculous running back 2 type character. Cowboy fans want you to have Tony Pollard as your first guy and like Derrick Henry as your, you know what I mean, thunder and lightning type. All about you think we can get Derrick Henry as our second back up here? No, you're fine.
No.
Jerry McKinnon was fine. You know what I'm saying? Like you're good. Let Tony Pollard be the guy. Let Dak Prescott be a guy, and just let your backup running back, or maybe your 2 backup running backs, get their 3 carries a game. They're gonna get their 4 carries and 2 catches that they're gonna get. Hunter Lipke might get 2 carries and 4 catches or something. Let him do what he do. That's a big game for him. Let them do what they do, man. But as far as running back goes, we're fine. We good.
Yeah, and I think Hunter's role, you know, we got to remember Mike McCarthy had, this is what I mean. He's been around. He had, you know, John Kuhn. He had, so he'll understand these sets. I think that Hunter Lupke's by far a better athlete than Kuhn was. Kuhn's bigger, more physical probably, but Lupke is an outstanding athlete. Go back and just go back to this channel, and he was one of my sleepers in the draft. You know what I mean? So he was one of the guys that I had in the later rounds. So it's not somebody who I just, the Cowboys drafted him, I'm happy. No. And, you know, Voch had covered Deuce Vaughn. So if you guys stay with us, you guys understand that, you know, we've been with some of these players. Thank you, JC. You know, I appreciate this because that's what me and Voch do. It's all ball with us. I don't want to get into all the speculation of this and that. And, you know, sometimes I like to troll Eagles fans on Twitter. It's funny. I just like getting them, you know, morales. But when it comes to I like getting them all their panties in a bunch. When it comes to ball, and we talking ball, this is what me and Voch gonna do. So Voch, we've covered 2 kind of battles. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we just get to I want to get your thoughts on what the offense needs to look like, what it needs to feel like, and then we can go ahead and jump off.
I'm really excited about Deuce Vaughn.
Okay, yeah, like, hey, bro, hey, listen.
Deuce Vaughn, bro.
Like, you know what's crazy? I watch this film wanting to find something I don't like. No, and literally I was just about to say, there's literally like, I'm watching him play Power 5 schools, good Power 5 schools. I'm watching him make Overshown missing a hole. I'm watching him do these types of things. I'm like, why can't he do it at the next level? Is it that OCs don't have the imagination to get him the ball? So I just think that I've watched films trying to find a reason not to like him, and I can't find one. So,
I mean, big play guy. Lines up at what? That's why I think a lot of his value is gonna come from Foots lining up at receiver, like, you know what I'm saying, like maybe as the fourth guy, like if we're in an empty set, he's, you know, somewhere close to the quarterback or something like that, and let him just find his spot in whatever defense that he's lined up against. Let him catch the ball and just let him be a yak dude, you know, because all yak guys don't have to be run through you yak guys, right? They could just be like run around, bet you can't catch me yak guys. Deuce might be not like fast, like straight line fast, but like in football, pads on, like catch me while I'm moving sideways guy. I know that's a weird bunch of words, Foots, but like it's just something about how I'm just watching the film now. It's just something how Deuce does that side to side thing that just makes you hard to find him. And then if you get there, he still does that side to side thing to where it's hard to tackle him, right? Think about this. Overshown 6'4". And Overshown had a handful of plays where he did end up catching Deuce Vaughn, but Overshown had to fly and jump all in the air to try to catch him. You know what I mean? But like him being a 6'4" dude versus a 5'5" guy, man, Deuce will start ducking and dodging in between an offensive lineman. It'll be hard, which is why Deuce should probably be your goal line back. Footsie King, talk to me about Deuce Vaughn being your goal line back. What you think about that, Foots?
Well, if you're talking about scheme, you put him in the goal line, you sneak him to flats. He's going to do what he's gonna. I mean, or you could
right up B gap.
Right, yeah, I was about to say you go B gap and you just tuck him away. Yeah, like you can do that and just you could tuck him. I mean, whoever your guard is, you wrap him around. So I'm with you. He gets lost. I literally, guys. And me and Voch, you know, I'll just say me. And when I go on a limb for a guy, I really believe in a guy. I'm literally the only thing that I want to see is NFL contact. Like if he passes that, and that's just something we won't know in training camp, we'll know it in preseason games where guys are fighting for jobs. If he could take a tackle and get up and get up and get up, because that's how I coach my backs. If he can do that, like, again, somebody find Deuce Vaughn and show him this video. Like, hey, Deuce, I believe in you. Please don't get cranked and come out the game. If he can do that, like, listen, we got one, y'all. We got one, Voch.
He has taken hits from what's my man play from Alabama? Henry To'o.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The
linebacker, yeah.
Guys from Overshown. They got some other guy like TCU got a linebacker that was, you know what I'm saying, pretty solid. I think he's coming out next year or something like that. Oklahoma just not Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? He's taken hits from these guys before, Foots. He has taken hits from these pro level front seven guys. I think he'll be fine. Plus, he ain't got to be the bell cow guy. 10 carries, Foots. What you want to see from Deuce? 10 carries? Maybe 8, 6, 3 catches?
I want no. Well, preseason, I want to see him get a game. I don't want them to do the
preseason, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him get a game. So that'll get his body. You know, I think that as the season goes on, Voch, it's gonna be like, don't let him make a few plays. I'm gonna tell you that now, because then it's gonna be, hey, we want to see more. Dude, you know how it goes when you're the running back too, when you start making plays. It's gonna be like, because it's gonna be hard to keep him off the field, and he's just a fun player. So, Voch, and then I guess this will piggyback into, and this will, you know, alley-oop into Voch.
Yeah.
Just give me in one kind of soliloquy, what do you want this offense to look like? And I know that's kind of a loaded question, but do you want to see more play action? I was reading something last night where it was like Dallas actually was the 10th in the league in 12 personnel. So I think people saying, oh, 12 personnel. Well, we ran a lot of 12 personnel. Do you want to see more 12? Just like it could be any nugget. What do you want to see this offense say? I want to see this, and then we'll get on out of here, Voch. What are you looking for with this offense?
I just want this offense to, I just need this offense to understand that less is more. I need this offense to understand that if you, this ain't the old days where like Mike Nolan is the DC and you got to overcompensate for him being the DC. You know what I mean? Quinn is here. Quinn is going to make this a safe space, you know? So if you can't get it done, there's nothing wrong with punting the football and trying again later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
4 is going to be great. 4 is going to be great because his surrounding cast got better, you know? Tony gets to be the guy now. You know,
Yeah.
Noah Brown has turned into Brandon Cooks. CeeDee Lamb gets another year better, you know, to where you would be going, all right, T.Y. Hilton, you know what I mean? Like, well, let's see if Jalen Tolbert, if a full year of Jalen Tolbert can be better than an old man T.Y. Hilton. Can a healed Michael Gallup be better than a hobbling Michael Gallup? You know what I mean? Can year 2 Tyler Smith be better than year 1 Tyler Smith? You know what I'm saying? Small things like that. Can Terrence Steele continue to build on what he's done? You know, if this offense just simply understands, hey man, just play in tandem with what Dan and the boys are doing for you, then they'll be just fine. As far as Dan and the boys go out there and be the best defense in the league and let this offense have an easy little job today, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, we ain't even talk about the defense because I believe this defense will be top 3, and you get the run game together, could be number 1. I mean, I just think it's that good, and I think Mike alluded to that last year, which is like, hey, Kellen, understand the flow of a game. Understand that we can get out of a game without having to throw. We can slow the game down because they're not moving the ball. You see what I'm saying? Right. So understanding that part of it, I think that's where I would like to see, because I think that, all right, let me say this, and then I think that teams have to declare now how they want to take what you want to do away, because of the growth of CeeDee Lamb, because of CeeDee Lamb knowing who he is, and then when they do that, I want to see this offense attack what they can't do well with Brandon Cooks, because I still believe in Brandon Cooks that much. Yeah. And I don't think that Brandon Cooks has had a receiver opposite of I don't think he's had a receiver opposite of him as good as CeeDee Lamb and ascending the way CeeDee Lamb is, because CeeDee Lamb has not reached his ceiling, by the way, just so we clear. So that's me. Voch has some film he wants to get to real quick.
Just one play.
But see, this is what we do with Voch Lombardi. Sorry if you guys are listening to this driving or whatever, but you about to miss a treat.
Just one play. Just look at it versus who is his TCU. Just look at it versus TCU, man. I just want to show this one. And then look, Kansas State O-line ain't great. So you had to see dudes like deal with like.
Dog, look how he snuck out the back door. That's inside zone, front side. And he just sneaks out the back door.
One more play, and I promise.
Outside zone. I mean, come on.
One more play, and just creating space for himself and carrying people. Creating space. Line up at receiver. So Foots, right? Mm-hmm. Not just Deuce Vaughn. Let me get the circle up there. Right? Not just Deuce Vaughn lined up at running back, maybe catching a pass out the backfield. This what I'm saying, though, Foots. This is what I'm saying. Displace him away from you, and just put him on the island with some linebacker that just don't move that good. It's not gonna be great for these people, Fuster King. It's not gonna be great for like a slow-footed Sam type linebacker guy to have to run around with Deuce Vaughn. You understand what I'm saying? It's gonna be business.
Oh man, dog. Like you said that. I mean, him catching the ball down the field.
One last one, we leave.
No, man, listen. That's the scheme right there. Take that back. Now,
one last one.
Now that's GT. That's all. Come on, Voch. That's GT. That's old school. You let Tyler and you let whoever's at guard wrap around, and you let him. Come on now. Now we playing football. That's a beautiful gap scheme right there. Come on, man.
My bad, Fuzz. I ain't mean to direct.
Hey, man, we got the 55 minutes, and guess what? I'm the first person who got Voch Lombardi on a live stream before training camp. How about that?
Hey man, I ain't doing nothing.
How about that? Because I know next week. When do we report, Voch? Take it away. When do we report, Voch?
I'll be at camp pad week, so that's on the 31st. So we'll be back from vacation next Monday to just kind of talk about training camp and all the training camp news that is going on. But me and Will Skywalker Steele will be there day one of pad day, so we'll be there to talk about it.
How long you guys out there?
We're coming back Thursday. Okay,
so Dallas goes to camp on Monday. Mm-hmm. So Dallas will be at camp on this Monday, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Sheesh, y'all. We made it.
Fast. It's happening fast, dog.
So for the non-casuals who are here, because you guys are with us, we made it, y'all. Can I get one more clap for making it, Voch? You got to produce right now. We made it.
We ain't doing nothing else for us to can.
Now, if y'all want, listen, 2I says she want the Chauncey film. Y'all got to go to Voch channel for that. He gonna give you the Chauncey film. He gonna give y'all the Alabama game. Listen, 2I, she can get the Alabama. She the GOAT. So listen, but the truth is this, right? Y'all, we're gonna have a good year. I'm excited. I'm a temper, but I'm excited because one thing that I love that the Cowboys did, Voch, in putting the bow on this thing is they overcorrected their weaknesses. Like they didn't play games with it. Drafted Mozzie Smith, and then if you guys haven't, go check out Law Nations, and I think they're about to go live, so that'll be cool. Him and the guys. The fact that they overcorrected their issues, Voch, and said, "Hey, we're going to make a strength," because Dallas' strength, people don't want to hear this, is their defense. I know that's not sexy in 2023 football, but it's their defense. And they made a strength Thanos.
Well, because the defense, it was already a good defense, right? But these offenses will create a new problem, right? Like they started to run up the middle, and we fixed that. Hangers and Carlos had to be guys, right? Then they started to run outside, and Dorrance was a dude, and we fixed that.
Right.
I think that's why Micah had to play so much right end, because Dorrance just wasn't giving us what we needed from a setting the edge, contained standpoint or whatever. And we stopped reverses and we stopped quick game. We damn near stopped everything for us, the King. But cornerback 2 was our biggest impediment, bro. We just could not deal with people throwing deep versus cornerback 2. And we didn't take a Nolan Carroll. We didn't take a Darryl Worley type guy. Shouts out to those guys, Footsie King. But we really addressed cornerback 2. We addressed cornerback.
Voch said, shout out to those. Voch, keep it real. It's levels.
Shouts out to them boys, man. Shouts out to them boys, man.
Shout out to y'all, Daryl. But listen,
shout out to Darryl Worley and Nolan Campbell. I was sick as hell. We rolled them boys out there, and Stevie Jones confident in them boys.
Hey, look, hey, that quarterback, like, all right, man, I'm gonna
go. But we have a legitimate, top 5, but you can say top 10 to be safe. A top 10 corner by the numbers as your cornerback 2 guy, Footsie King. It's top, man. Yeah, man. What you want me to say? It's top tier stuff.
Hey, man, it's top tier stuff. This is top tier content. Voch Lombardi, if you guys don't know where he's at, then you've been under a rock. Thank you so much, because I actually hit Voch today and asked him to do this, and I appreciate my dog, man, because just the fact that he does so much film, he does so much work, he looking in shape. I don't know, but hey, me and Voch be talking Voch. You eating right? What you eating? You working out? And so the fact that he on that, man, we just trying to live life, be the best content creators that we can be, dog. It ain't no fluff over here, y'all. We giving y'all the real. Voch, tell them where they can find you so we can get up out of here. We made it to an hour too.
Voch Lombardi. I don't even want to, promo too much. I'm just here showing love, man. Appreciate your foot.
Voch, make sure you get me on when you start going live again. And y'all always know that I'm every post game, I do lock in a segment with Voch. So just because he's with the volume, he hasn't got to Hollywood. Me and my dog gonna talk out ish. That's what we're gonna do, and you're gonna get it the real. All right, y'all. I'm Footsie King. You guys know where to find me. Voch actually pushed me to make the channel Footsie King. Those of you guys who've been with us, it was Cowboys Nation TV. Voch said, "Foots, stamp you." That's what I did. Every super chat, thank you guys. JC Cowboys, Brother L, and it was man 7. Thank you. Much love to y'all. Until next time.
Twitch up next. Shouts out to Brother L. Twitch up next.
Oh, Voch. Twitch up next. Peace. I'm gonna jump on the Twitch. Peace, y'all.
Peace.